There was a time when one tiny inconvenience would ruin my entire day. Like I'd be late for work or I'd say the wrong thing and suddenly I'm spiraling. I'd be mad, anxious, convincing myself that the universe is out to get me. But lately, I don't even flinch now. Like things could be completely out of control, falling apart, and I'm just focusing on what I can control. And it's not because I'm just trying to play chill and like I don't care, but because I literally move different now. And I'm gonna show you how I got here. Now, if you hear little bells jingling and stuff in the background, sorry, it's my cat. He is currently grooming himself, but he's with us. Now, I want you to imagine, so I can help you understand the journey I had to go through, the understanding I had to go to get to this point. I want you to imagine that you are late for work, your boss has it out for you, and there is traffic. In that moment, what are you focusing on? For most people, they're focusing on, can this traffic just leave? Oh my god, my boss is gonna kill me. Yo, why didn't I leave earlier? This is my fault. Oh my god, I'm gonna get fired. But the thing is, can you make the traffic go away? Can you make your can you make your boss not want to fire you? I mean, I guess you could have been a better employee, but like in this moment, can you leave earlier? This moment, no, you can't do any of that stuff. So what most people are focusing on are things they can't control, and this is where the panic and the anxiety and the anger comes from. It's because we're resisting the moment. We are focusing on things we cannot control. So, what would work better in this situation? Focusing on things you can control, focusing on the emotion you feel and processing it. Instead of thinking, oh, this traffic sucks and my body's getting mad at me, instead it's like, I can focus on taking a breath and feeling this and telling myself it'll be okay. So that's what I'm going to do. Because right now I feel a little bit panicky, so I can focus on that. I can't control the fact that I'm in this traffic, but I can control how I respond. Now, how does this look like in real life, though? Well, I mean, that's one example that could happen. But I remember my car, my Honda Charlie, what's his name? Rest in peace. Well, he's not really dead. I sold him, but he was going through it. He was an old car. It was time for me to get a new car, and I was looking around, couldn't find nothing. But there was this one spot an hour out of town that, even though the distance was like I didn't want to drive that, an hour wasn't too bad, and the car looked beautiful. And I've been searching for a few weeks at this point, so I'm like, we gotta go. I get my dad, we hop in the car, we drive in. I'm excited to get in my car. I'm already envisioning myself getting in it and driving back home. It's what I want. It's got the sunroof. I've been looking so hard to get. It's a small car because I didn't want anything big. It was a beautiful color. We get to the place, pull up after an hour, and I go to the door to open it, and it's locked. I'm like, what? I texted this dude. He told me I could come up. So why is it locked? So then I go to the other door, and it's locked. And so I'm sitting there confused. Well, how am I gonna get this car? I'm trying to get it. If I don't get it today, I'm gonna have to wait another week to get out here because I can't go on the weekday. I have work, so I need to get this car now. Turns out the store was closed on Sundays, and I could only come. It was that was the only day it was closed on Sunday. So I could have gone Saturday. I could have gone Friday, but I went on the one day it was closed. And I said to myself, well, what can I do? I got back in my car and drove back home and just chilled out. And I didn't blow my top. Whereas most people, they would get so angry. They'd be like, what the heck? They would have a meltdown. And it wouldn't be as intense, but like they would let that moment get to them. And when they retell that story, it'd probably be them telling it and getting angry and pissed off. I don't know if that's a curse word or not, but I'm saying it at the situation. Whereas me, it was just calm. Like it was like my water, there was no ripple in it Whereas other people will be like a whole stone would be thrown in the water and the whole thing, everything comes crashing and just chaos. Me, it was just calm. And it's not because I'm some nonchalant, chill person. It's because I understand the dichotomy of control. And that's the one thing I want to impart onto you. The dichotomy of control. Which makes us focus more on what we can control and less on what we can't control. Because when we focus on things we can't control, that is when chaos and suffering come in. Because we can't do anything about it, but you were focusing on it. It's like if I cut off your leg and you just focus on the fact that your leg's cut off, you're going to bleed out because you're not focusing on the fact that you can call the police to get you some help. I know that was a crazy example, but that's what I'm trying to say. The economy of control puts a lot more control into your life because instead of focusing only on what you can't control, you're able to habit is looking on what you can control. So then it's like if something bad happens, you don't linger in it. I remember one time, me and my girl had got groceries and we put all this stuff up. And next day we come out and I smell something really bad. I'm like, what is that scent? I couldn't find it. I'm looking everywhere. I can't find it. Well, we decided to head out. We're going to go to the park. And when we go to the front door, we see there was one grocery bag left that had some of our meats in it. And it was bad. Now, my girl was like, no, oh my God, it's going to happen. Like, she was like, no. Whereas me, I'm thinking, well, we'll just get some more. So I just threw it away. Why? Because I can't control that it was left out. It was left out. No need to blow a top over it. Let me just go get some more. Like, that's how powerful the economy of control is. And I want to teach you how to step into that. So first, you've got to become conscious of the uncontrollable. Now, most people never do this step because they aren't very mindful and they don't even know that they're focusing on things they can't control. I see this so many times. So the first step is recognizing when we're getting caught up in this story of I can control this, when in reality you can't. So to pull away and recognize you're looking at something you can't control, whenever you're feeling some type of emotion, something that just doesn't sit right with you, and you'll instinctively know when you're in this moment, ask yourself, what can't I influence in this situation? Because when you say, what can't I? Now you're becoming aware of the uncontrollable. Now, when you become aware of the uncontrollable, you have to take the step back to say, if I can't control it, why am I going to let it dictate how I feel? This is when you allow yourself to respond. Because you know, if you can't touch it, why are you going to sit there crying and whining about it? Like, no, there's no point. Now, pulling away and being able to recognize that you can't control it is the first part. But the second part is now shifting your attention to what you can control. And to ask yourself, what can I control in the situation? Here's a 2-step question. What can't I control? Okay, then let me start focusing on that. What can I control? Then let me start focusing on that. I'm telling you, if you learn this stuff, first of all, your emotional control will get a lot better. I'm not saying it'll be perfect, but you will see a boost in that. And you'll just stop feeling stressed out over small things. You stop feeling so anxious over things because why? When you can't control anything, life is going to happen as life is going to happen. So you can either, life is going to either pull you along while you're kicking and screaming, or you're just going to walk and enjoy the ride alongside of it. Either way, you're going to move. So you might as well just enjoy the walk, Now, these are concepts we aren't taught because our society wants to keep us weak. Unfortunately, because it is easy to control weak-minded people and profit off of weak-minded people. That's why we are taught to obey authority. We are taught from a young age, listen to your teacher, listen to your boss, listen to anybody we deem as high-ranking. Don't listen to yourself, though. Self-mastery, you don't need that. Just listen to your boss. We're taught to buy things, buy this because you'll be loved, and then buy this and you'll be happy, and then buy this and people will think you're cool. Tomorrow is a promise. Just keep spending. Why? Because now we can profit off of you. We're taught how to endlessly entertain ourselves. Why? Because if we're endlessly entertaining ourselves, we're not growing. We're not thinking for ourselves. We're not becoming well-rounded individuals. We're becoming zombies that are easy to control and profit off of. This is the society we live in. That's why these concepts you have to look for. You have to find this stuff if you really want to grow and evolve as a human being. The economy of control is a great concept, a great lesson. Not a great lesson, but just a great way of living because it makes life a lot easier. because you're no longer resisting so much that's coming up in life. It's like you're not resisting it, you're just focusing on what you can do. Like, I remember this one time, I was fuming in my office right in here because me and my girl had got into, we had a tense moment. And I'm sitting here like, man, ooh, like, you know how you get. And as I'm fuming, a voice in my head says, Faith, what are you focusing on? I'm focusing on the past. Can you control it? No. I'm focusing on the argument. Can you control it? No. What can you control? I can control. And mind you, I don't want to be doing this. Like, I have this part of me that's like, no, forget all that mindfulness stuff. But I have to follow through. So I say, I can focus on how I respond. I can focus on what I want to get across in the moment, or I can focus on what I value. And what I value is a strong, loving relationship. And so I sat there and breathed, and I allowed love to enter the picture. And once that entered, I went back into the room and we had a conversation. And it wasn't an easy conversation. I didn't walk in there and say, I love you and everything's one. No, it was, we addressed the conflict and we got past it. But it would have been a lot harder for me to do that if I only stayed focused on the things I couldn't control. The things that already happened, the things that already been said. I can't focus on that. Let's just focus on what I can. So that's how beautiful the economy of control is, especially if you apply it in your life, because every area of your life will naturally improve because you're stepping into it, moving completely differently. Now, let me know what you're going to start using the economy of control on in your life. What are you going to start realizing you can't control? Or what do you realize now that you can't control? And what are you going to focus on now that's within your control? Now, strengthening your mindset, especially in a society that wants to keep us weak-minded, is very important. But alone is not enough because the biggest opponent we are up against is the default mode of living we've all been conditioned to stay on. And you already know what it is. Where you get a job and you wake up 2 hours before it's time to go to work and you turn on your phone and you scroll and it's time to go to work and you rush off to work and you're there for 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, come back, crash out on the couch, watch more TV, scroll on your phone, stuff your face with food, go to sleep, 2 days off, do whatever, waste some time, not really grow, just entertain yourself, go party, go drink. Now it's back to work, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years pass, now you're retired, and all you can remember is you clocking in and you clocking out. Is that what you want in life? The crazy thing is, people are getting that in life. That's not what I want. And I know that's not what you want. So we have got to get off of this default mode of living. We have got to be more intentional. But we aren't taught this stuff because society doesn't want us to. That's why I created the Live by Design course. It'll be the first thing in my description that will allow you to be much more intentional in life and get what you want. Because the people who are intentional, that get what they want from life because they're intentional about it. But the people who aren't intentional, they get what's given to them by default. And you better hope that what's given to you by default is good. But for most of us, they aren't good. So you don't want that. So make sure you check it out if you're interested in that. And please take this advice, because if you do, a new level of calm will be in your life and a new level of focus will be in your life, because you'll be finally focusing on the things you yourself can put your actual hands on and make work, instead of focusing on what the mass people focus on, which is things they just can't even touch, things they have no sense of control over. You're focusing on what you can control, you're more empowered, you're taking action, and you're changing things. You're driving the boat, and you are one of our elite employees. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, you know what to do. I finally caught up. Dude, I made 8 videos. I made 4 yesterday and 4 today. I'm going to New York this weekend, so I had to literally get everything done, and I was already behind on videos, so this week was so crucial, and I got everything done. I'm gonna edit all these videos on the plane, and then for the weekend, I'm not thinking about nothing. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Anyway, I'm gonna see you for the next video.